Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Vacation Podcast 2. I've got a different set of people with me today. Today I'm joined by a couple other friends. Returning Isaac, Drew, another friend of ours who... Do you want to say your name, or do you want to give yourself an alias?
You can just go TJ.
TJ, pretty cool guy. He's going to join in on us today. So, pretty much I wanted to start it off with Rick Snyder. Did any of you guys see any of that shit going down? With the Flint water stuff?
The only thing I saw is that he's finally getting charged, but he has like minimum sentencing of like a year.
Do you guys remember how that all went down?
I remember a few years ago, like, hearing about it and stuff. And
Pretty sure it was 2016.
Yeah, and then constantly not hearing anything done about it.
Yeah, no, it's still fucked. A lot of the water's been tested. Apparently, it's clean now, but a lot of people are still sketched out.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
I
we
would be
drinking
too.
from it. No, yeah, people were getting fucking, what's it called, like Legionnaire's disease, and they were getting like lead poisoning and shit. It was pretty fucked up.
In America.
But yeah, back in 2016, they decided to switch the main water connection from the Detroit water system to the Flint River for the city of Flint. Here, let me rip this real quick. Yeah, they switched water connections, and they didn't make sure that the water treatment facility treating the water coming from the Flint River was doing its job properly. So it was just a bunch of contaminated water going to the city. And people were starting to freak out. They were taking videos and putting them online. And eventually scientists got involved and they started doing testing. And it took like a year for Rick Snyder's team. I guess it wasn't Rick Snyder himself who made this happen. It was one of his economic advisors or something who was overseeing it. He did it to like save money. But anyway, it's coming back now in Rick Snyder because it took him like a year to get anything done about it. I guess they didn't actually believe that anything was wrong with the city either. They had to send in like their own teams to do investigations to actually make anything happen. It was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, as people are just like dying of
Yeah,
lead
they were
poisoning.
like shipping trucks of like water bottles in.
Yeah, taking
city.
showers with it, washing.
Taking showers with it, cooking with it.
Insane Clown Posse giving away all the Faygo when it happened.
Was that a thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
Insane Clown Posse came in and donated a bunch of Faygo.
Legit.
Looking out.
Legit. But anyway, the news in the past couple days is that Rick Snyder, along with 8 other associates, are now being charged. A lot of people are upset because I guess Rick's only facing a few misdemeanor charges, which personally it's hard to say whether he deserves more or not because it wasn't he himself who made the change happen, but he did neglect actually getting anything done about it. So it's good he's facing charges, and a couple of the other guys who are getting charged with like non-intentional manslaughter charges. So
The government's on that witch hunt right now.
they are. There is a lot of people going crazy. They're coming after him right now, but can't say they don't deserve it. You know, he did a few good things for Detroit, but when you fuck up like that, it's kind of hard to.
It's a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. Anyways, and moving on to what the new governor's doing, Whitmer. So she's got a few new lockdown things coming our way. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Yeah, coming to, I think it's going to take place, not happening until January 31st, or the order's extended until January 31st. So restaurants might possibly be opening after that date, but besides that, everything else is still going to be closed. Except some forms of, I guess, indoor group activities.
Yeah, it's like weird because like you can't go in and eat at a restaurant, but you could play like contact basketball or something.
Yeah.
Non-contact sports.
Don't
But it's
make-
like every sport's pretty much contact. Like
Literally.
It's
you
the same
touch it,
shit.
breathe in the same air.
I don't know, it's kind of fucked, because we got that new strain of COVID coming around. You guys hear about that? The super COVID strain?
Super cold.
Apparently it's like almost as infectious as like influenza. Not deadlier, I guess, but definitely super infectious. Like it's already spread through New York, Colorado, California,
Yeah, I heard
all
those
around
too.
pretty much the world at this point. It's been confirmed in India, China.
In the coming weeks.
In-
It'll be here.
I'll be here. But of course, the powers that be are kind of freaking out about it a little bit. They're bringing in more stringent lockdowns. California's got indefinite lockdowns right now, especially LA. I know, like in France, you can't even leave your house without proper paperwork. The UK is setting up security checkpoints around the country. Around here, a lot of travel agencies are talking about having like QR codes that you have to have like once you get vaccinated in order to be able to like use public transportation. Some people are saying it might get as extreme as like to even get into like grocery stores.
Have they found any results on the effectiveness of that vaccine yet?
It seems somewhat effective, but I've seen a lot of bad things too. Like I saw something talking about like 27 people dying in Norway a couple days after they took it. Something about New York, a nursing home, they all got it after they got the vaccine, and a bunch of people died. So it's like, I don't know.
Rushed?
A little rushed. They finished it in 8 months. You know, it takes a long time for shit to get done. It's like it's not even about being anti-vax or not. You can't get an efficient vaccine pumped out in that short amount of time. They rush the fuck out of it. And all these companies are making billions of dollars.
And
Billions.
Pfizer, when they had 20-some people die off it in Norway.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Fucking, it's not legit, and I'd probably hold off on it. You know, especially if you're young, just don't worry about it. You know, just be healthy. Maybe, like I said before, quit smoking. It'd be a good thing. You know, weed's okay, and that's fine. We'll let that pass.
It's a wonder drug.
It's kind of crazy. And now social media is cracking down on a lot of people who are even talking about it. Like, did you guys hear about the, I think it was last year, it was like the white coat meetup or something in DC. A bunch of politicians brought like a bunch of doctors to come and talk about like the COVID strain. They were talking about how it's actually more of a bad thing to keep people locked inside their houses because of like lack of like vitamin D. No one's eating right. Everyone's just eating fast food. Like if you drive down the street, McDonald's is lined up every fucking day, bro. Every fucking day. Taco Bell, Burger
Lack
King.
of
Arby's
serotonin.
goes crazy down the road.
Arby's,
Just
straight
like
up.
15 minutes ago, I told Passive.
Bro, and then they close whenever they want, it seems like, too.
Little Caesars. That place is never open anymore.
No, bro, Little Caesars and fucking downtown is always crazy.
What
Cars
happened?
parked out all around. It's hard to say, man. They made people freak out, and no one's got the energy to get their own shit done, I guess. I mean, the stores are always packed, but
Yeah. Well, it's like every day just feels the same.
basically, I can only imagine for all those who like aren't working and shit still, who haven't been working this. So are you stuck in that situation?
Yeah, because the restaurant business, man.
Yeah,
Can't go eat.
I know. I've talked to a lot of people like that. It's fucked. That's a lot of people who work in that service industry,
Oh, I know.
and all they want to do is give people $600. Like, what the fuck, man?
With that shit?
Dude, giving like millions of dollars to Amazon, to Google, Facebook, all these companies. Maybe not necessarily Facebook. I'm not sure if they got any money, but all these big industry companies. No, Amazon for sure. They got stocked up. They're benefiting off all this.
As they're making their ad revenue.
Oh fuck yeah! And they're making the ad revenue. Amazon controls like pretty much every industry sector now. If they want you out as competition, they'll just come in, make their prices lower than yours until you're fucked, and then they'll just raise the price to normal. They don't care. We have no government regulation on any sort of monopoly or trust busting. It's kind of fucked.
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's actually getting to the point where now the Mexican president and we have Chancellor Merkel of Germany coming out and talking about it, because they're all getting hot and bothered, because the way things used to be, it was always the government that restricted people's speech. Now all these governments are starting to get freaked out because these huge American corporations have gotten so powerful that they own our government. They have like these paid out senators and House representatives, and they lobby to get certain laws put in place. There was a study I remember seeing back in like 2016 where it was saying like
You can roast it.
the people's like opinion, the normal people's opinion, like the majority, didn't actually have any influence on what laws and regulations were getting passed by the Congress, you know.
Flashback to the early 1900s.
Yeah, right back to it. We need another Roosevelt, was it?
I think
Or no, Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy Roosevelt.
That's what we need. Where is he? Oh. Yeah, it used to be all the government's locking down and shit, so now they're all starting to get freaked out because it's gonna happen to them too. They're gonna start cutting them out.
Yeah.
And they're all starting to set their standards to the Chinese standard. I noticed a little bit. Alright. Do you guys know any, do you guys use or know of any alt-tech media?
I'm not too familiar with it, to be honest.
I know the big one that just got kicked off all the sites was Parler.
Oh,
That one
yeah,
was
I saw
that
some.
one was pretty political in nature, honestly.
Yeah, I knew, I've heard of some people that have had a pretty big following on Parler.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
like, it's gone now.
All these different sites, Parler, Gab, BitChute. I'm using one called like Minds. They're all growing like crazy right now because social media, they're all like setting this weird like status quo standard, and if you step outside of that, you're not part of the norm, you're not like family friendly, and they want you gone. To some degree, I mean, Facebook still allows a lot of like child pornography and shit to be spread throughout their messaging system, but
Sadly.
they pick and choose. Usually if it's anything of a political nature, it's gotta be one-sided to some degree. Even the left is being targeted now. It's not about left or right, it's about whether you're with the establishment or not. And you see like groups like the Young Turks getting censored now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can't say, didn't call it. Anyway, let me say quickly, I recommend everyone check us out on Gab, BitChute, and Minds. I'll have the links down below. Now is more important than ever to support these sites, especially sites like Gab, because Gab was actually getting kicked off, like the Google hosting systems, and like Amazon kicked them off their hosting service, and they went out and they set up their own like servers. Exactly what that means, I don't know, but they're able to host their own website now without having to worry about being deplatformed in any sense. So you can pretty much go set up whatever you want and put anything out there. Just to some degree, obviously you can't go out and like promote violence and whatnot, but
No, those sites are about to get circled though by all these big companies.
who?
All these like new sites popping up.
Dude, I know, like Minds is really cool. Minds is one of my favorites because it actually goes around like a blockchain a lot. So it uses like Ethereum on the site, so you can use like Ethereum to like buy these tokens and promote your own accounts. And you can actually gather this stuff passively just by being on the site and like reposting shit, getting your own stuff liked and shared. You'll gather passively this Ethereum coin.
And that's cryptocurrency, right?
That's a crypto. I don't know too much about Ethereum, nor do I recommend investing in it necessarily. Bitcoin is doing really well though.
Yeah,
I mentioned this
heard.
last time as well. I've made a decent amount of money on it so far, so I do recommend checking it out. I think it's gonna cap. I've seen a couple things talking about it capping around like 50,000 by the end of this year. It's around like 36 as I checked today, so there's still a lot of potential.
That's a jump still.
It is.
Crazy jump.
It is. It was at 15,000 in November. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not getting too much into it. But yeah, anyway, back to Minds. It's actually being targeted by Google now. They're actually trying to kick it off their app store because they're saying that there's people like promoting violence on it and whatnot. So people got to realize that all these sites, there's only like 2 main app sites. There's Google and Apple. And if you don't, there's only like a couple, like 23 businesses that operate outside of that, which compared to like the hundreds and probably thousands at this point that operate within that system. You got to keep in mind they control the whole flow of what you see and what you don't see.
It's just crazy. It's like, how are you supposed to start small business nowadays?
They make it
This
nearly
type-
impossible
Yeah.
because like it's hard to actually buy equipment to get stuff done without basically selling your soul to some company and spending all your time there.
Even with this pandemic too, like watching all of these businesses close, it's just mind-boggling.
It's sad, yeah. A lot of these businesses closed, and I personally saw a lot of people try and make more of like an online presence of some sort. Some people do well, some people don't. It's kind of like whether you're good enough for it or not, I guess. Or
It's
just what your
treading new
mindset
waters
is.
right now.
Treading waters?
Yeah, like treading new waterways and stuff.
It is. It's new paths, and all these corporations are stopping the newbies from starting up. Like, I remember YouTube back in the day. It was just a bunch of random people making videos in their houses. You know, you had fucking Frank, Filthy Frank,
Oh,
Filthy
yeah.
Frank, and guys like that. Like,
Joji.
Joji, shit was great, you know, but shit like that can't really exist in today's spectrum. It's kind of sad. The edginess is gone from modern normal society.
That's on TikTok now.
It is TikTok. I haven't even used TikTok, thank God. I'm still pure. Pure of heart. I haven't been soiled. Do any of you guys use it?
Nah.
You heretics.
I have people that like have TikToks that like I follow and support
mean-
them, but I don't like go on and browse it like.
TikTok, it seems like a cool app, but you know it's being filtered out how they want it to be. They're totally using their algorithms, the same as all these other corporations. They've got an AI running it at this point. And the fact that it was based in China, and the only reason they're able to still operate is because an American company came and bought them out. It's just a cover front. So you got to keep that in mind when you use these websites. It's all right to browse on, just don't get indulged in, you know.
Drawn in.
Don't think it's real life. That's where I think the problem comes from.
Don't take their advice, please.
So you can be entertaining.
Yeah, for real.
Don't
yeah.
take their fucking advice. Yeah.
I've heard some bad things about it.
Well, 'cause they can say whatever they want. There's all sorts of stupid ass videos coming out, man. That's why kids are eating Tide Pods and shit.
Don't eat those.
No, yeah, you gotta pick better role models. That's what I say. Role models are important. You gotta have a good one.
Or what sounds fun.
Yeah.
What sounds fun?
And safe to an extent, you know.
So I'm gonna use that as a transition to my next subject, Elon Musk.
Oh.
Perfect role model. I actually found out only like last week that he'd made it to the #1 charts of the world's richest people. You know, that's fucking
Money bags.
insane. Insane. This man's a goddamn legend. He's kind of strange. Some people think he's like from the future, here to like save us from like an inevitable nuclear war.
I mean, if you just see his name for his son.
Yeah. Apparently that was his wife's decision. Who is it? It's
She makes like music, I know.
Yeah. I liked it. She had a couple okay songs, but she's pretty out there in terms of ideas. But I guess so is he. Like when you listen, if you guys listen to like his podcast on Joe Rogan,
I've listened to a few bits of it. They're the dream couple.
Yeah, basically. He's kind of a strange dude. But nonetheless, he's got SpaceX actually being profitable now. Like, he's making money off the reusable boosters. They're sending up satellites for these internet companies, and they're sending up, like, astronauts for, like, NASA now, which is where they're going to be making a shit ton of money.
They took advantage of when NASA took that step down.
Yeah, they did.
They definitely did.
Yeah, because NASA, like you said, NASA stepped down, what was it, like 2012, 2014, when they stopped using their own shuttles, and they started paying, like, the Russians and shit to get to the space station.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they were doing that to save money for. I guess they're working on their own new space rocket that they're going to be using to like get to Mars and shit. But for the time being, they're going to have to pay SpaceX. And there's a couple other companies stepping up too, like Virgin Galactic with working on their space planes.
If they're taking volunteers, I'd volunteer for it.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh yeah.
To go test that out. I mean,
Mm.
well,
I want to
okay,
become
well,
astronauts.
I mean, I'll wait till it's like tried and true. I'll let the
Yeah,
adrenaline junkies go and give it the first go, strap themselves to the fucking top of a candlestick. But eventually it'll be cool. I mean, we're not far off from seeing shit like space elevators and more like asteroid bases and moon mining. That's next few decades, realistically, especially like the moon. I know we were talking about that earlier. They did a scan last year, and they found all sorts of like rare earth minerals all over the surface. So it's starting to become actually profitable to invest in space.
Wait for that moon rock jewelry.
It's gonna be dope as fuck. Meteorite necklaces and shit. Sick as fuck. I know the Chinese are jumping on it too. They've got missions to send people to the moon and start establishing a more permanent residence. Which is like, why don't we? We've been wasting so much fucking time with all this stupid political shit. This is what's really important.
Yeah. Depollute the earth.
Depollute
Pops.
the earth. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.